like threw it out there. I was like,
I
was like, what other like podcasts are there for like D2 athletes?
Yeah.
And I feel like D2 is a lot smaller if you look at it compared to D3, D1. But there's a lot of good athletes.
Yeah.
That do come out of D2. For instance, like Dakota Lindrum right now, Alicia Konishak. Like, there's. I guess me.
It counts.
And then,
welcome to another episode of Talking While Running. I'm here with Lexi Zeis, the one and only, on a beautiful day in Boulder. Lexi, thanks so much for joining me.
You're welcome.
How are you doing?
Enjoying this lovely weather we're having before the snow comes.
Yeah, we're out. It's like February. It's actually Valentine's Day.
It is Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. But we got a special guest here, D2, three-time national champ from the University of Mary in North Dakota. So I think it's a really good special look, hopefully, into that life. And then also, Lexi runs for Roots Running, currently in Boulder now. So I'd love to kind of start back with the early days, if you will.
Yeah.
How did you find, your passion for running in North Dakota?
Yeah. So I guess a little backstory. I was a figure skater for 15 years.
Wow.
So when I would say I was like into running, I was very much an outgoing person. And in, elementary school, you do like those like elementary meets, like track meets, and my 5th grade year, I did like all those sprints, like the 100 and 400, and then I did shot put.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
figure skating shot putter.
Yep. But then 6th grade year, I like came home one day and I told my mom, I'm like, I'm gonna run the mile.
Ooh.
At the 6th grade track meet.
Do you remember what made you say that?
I don't really remember. All I do remember is that like my gym teacher at the time was like, not a lot of people run this.
Okay.
Like, might be something good for you to get into.
Yeah.
And like, I was already like long time figure skater, so like I have like the endurance from that.
Okay.
So basically I went out that day not knowing what to expect, and I won it.
Wow.
And I still remember my time.
Which was?
6:27.
Dang.
Yeah.
5th grade?
6th grade.
6th grade?
Yeah.
That's next level.
So that kind of started it.
Yeah.
I didn't start doing cross country till 9th grade.
Okay,
so just track.
You kind of mentioned it there, like, I don't know anything about figure skating. Does that skill set and training kind of translate, or?
Yeah, I would say figure
so?
skating was really much. Figure skating, I mean, I don't know if you've been watching the Olympics.
Yeah,
but
sure.
Like, the stamina and the endurance all portrays into running. Like, I was also part of the national synchronized skating team. So for those who don't know what synchronized skating is, just look it up.
Okay. We'll show a clip.
You'll understand what I mean.
Okay.
So that was kind of like how it all.
That's really cool.
I didn't want to just do one sport.
Yeah.
I was very much multi. I need to do everything.
Sure. So you can start really running, then focusing on it in 9th grade?
Yeah, so I decided to stop. I played volleyball in the fall time, but I decided not to because 9th grade was starting to get into like the high school volleyball, and I wasn't that good.
Yeah, sure.
So, but then my coaches, Scott Regenberger and Janelle Olson.
Shout out.
Yep, shout out. Decided to really convince me into coming out for cross country.
Yeah.
Because I was already like running track, kind of with the high school team. my 8th grade year towards the end. And so they're the ones that really started it all for me.
That's really cool.
So yeah.
So how big was like the team there, and what was kind of the culture like in North Dakota high school?
You know, it was a good, like, I don't know, I was very much kind of stick to myself.
Okay.
But like, I had good teammates. We won state titles as a team.
Yep.
My junior and senior year. It was a lot different compared to, like, you see all these big high school teams like going to these huge meets.
Yeah.
Like the biggest one we would go to is Nike Regions. And then, yes, if you qualify.
Heartland region.
Yep, Heartland region.
Yeah.
Sioux Falls. Like our guys team was really good. They went to like Nike Nationals and everything.
Are you at elevation in Bismarck?
No, we are like at sea level.
That's right, okay.
Yeah, so like I basically trained at sea level my whole life until I moved out here.
All right, well, good segue. Well, kind of. Well, I want to touch on the college stuff first.
Okay.
University of Mary, also in Bismarck.
Yep.
D2. So, I don't know, a lot of stuff off of that I want to get into.
Okay.
One, I saw you tweet or something with Noah Droddy, who we've had on and has the D3 podcast.
Yeah.
And you said you might do a D2 podcast. Like, what would that be like? And also, you know, kind of the pitch. What's the pitch on D2? And what's that, like, culture kind of feel like?
Yeah, I mean, so I just kind of, like, threw it out there. I was like,
I
was like, what other, like podcasts are there for, like, D2 athletes?
Yeah.
And I feel like D2 is a lot smaller if you look at it compared to D3, D1, but there's a lot of good athletes that do come out of D2. For instance, like Dakota Lindrum right now, Alicia Konishak, like, there's...
You.
I guess me.
It counts.
And then, it's just like, I've been seeing so much on like my Twitter page and like some podcasts like that have been coming out, more so on D3, and not much hearing about D2 right now. Like, to be honest, I don't know really who's at the top level on like women's side.
Yeah.
I do know a couple from like the men's side that have been breaking a lot of barriers. I do know the men's indoor D2 record was broken this weekend.
Yeah. So technically, also for people who don't know, like, what is D2? What makes it D2? What's different about it than D1 and D3?
So D3 and D2, the biggest difference is like scholarship-wise. So you can get scholarships for D2. D2, you do get to a lot more of those bigger meets. I do know that the level of running has become very close though with each other. You've been seeing crazy times being ran by both D3 and D2.
All over.
But like I said earlier, like, it is a smaller portion compared to your D1. And like for me, I got recruited by D1, but I got recruited by D2. And the biggest factor that played into it is like, I want to experience those big meets, and I may not experience them until I'm a junior or senior at a D1 level. But I started to experience nationals as a freshman.
Right.
And so the opportunities, like, you may not be, I was a 5'11" miler coming out of high school, and just like having that experience at such a younger age helped me like
go on to win,
prepared for all these bigger stuff, all this bigger stuff along the way.
So you won 3 titles in D2. That's perfect. Like, you know, explanation. What maybe which is your favorite? And kind of take us through it.
I think my favorite probably, oh gosh, Okay. I think my favorite is kind of a tie.
Okay.
So it has.
That's okay.
It's my sophomore year when I won the cross country title, and I won it by 0.03
Oh, no way.
seconds.
A lean.
Yep, the closest finish in D2 history.
Wow.
Like, and I think what made it special is like our team qualified that year.
Yep.
So I had the whole team out that year, and then gosh.
No, you're good.
What else happened? What else happened?
Well, that's enough.
So
Here,
long
we'll
ago.
turn at the next one, Josh. That's cool.
Okay. And then, oh yeah, the other thing was I was undefeated that year,
Oh.
but I wasn't being talked about
Damn.
going into nationals.
Uh-huh.
I was kind of like, in a way, a dark horse
Yeah.
at that time.
If you're undefeated and not being talked about, then
Like,
yeah.
Like I won GREAC that year.
Wow.
So,
I didn't know that.
That's
really cool.
So that one was definitely huge. And then I think the next biggest one that was a tie is
We're gonna flip, but keep it. Yeah.
it was indoor nationals, and I had a really bad cross country. I don't say really bad cross country.
Uh-huh.
I ended up 11th at nationals that year.
Yeah.
Kind of put a lot of pressure on myself because it was
Uh-huh.
like my senior year. I mean, the best thing about cross that year was that we won the first NCAA trophy as a team for UMary national runner-ups, so that was huge.
Flex.
And then, so that year, I kind of just had like a chip on my shoulder.
Uh-huh.
I ended up
That makes sense.
going into the 5K with just this like motivation to like be up there again.
Yeah.
And then ended up coming with a
Oh,
runner-up in the 3K too. So I think that was
dang.
like kind of like one of my better
Yeah.
indoor seasons.
That's amazing. Well, shout out. I mean, you also, I think, a fun thing I found from D2 is like they also have some of the best singlets, some of the best uniforms.
Yes.
Including UMary. Like, they're really cool and unique and weird,
Yeah.
and like, you don't see them a lot, so I think they're really sick.
Yeah, we had black ones my freshman year, and then my sophomore year we got nice like royal blue
Mm-hmm. Yep.
ones.
With the like royal font.
Yeah.
And anyone else in D2 that you thought had cool ones that we should look up?
You know, Adams State always had
Oh,
some
yeah,
interesting
yeah,
ones.
yeah.
I like theirs too.
Yeah, that's a good call. Alrighty.
Yeah.
So, you've now moved on to Boulder, greener pastures, altitude, all that stuff with Bruce running.
Yeah.
How's that going now? And then if you want to go down memory lane a bit, I know it's been a while, but talk about the trials and
Yeah.
any races since then.
So yeah, I moved out. Actually, how I moved out here was because I saw some pros running at Mount Sac my senior year, and I came home and I was like, Mom, Dad, I don't want to be a graduate assistant coach. I don't want to go to grad school. Like, I got accepted into grad school and everything. I was going to be the coach. I said, I'm going to move to Boulder.
Dang.
So that's kind of like what ended up happening.
That's really cool.
Actually, I came out here to visit Hudson.
Yeah.
So I came out here to visit them, but I got like an email the week going into it that they were disbanding.
Yeah.
And they're like, you should check out this team, Roots. And so Roots has been the only team I ever looked at, and
I love it.
yeah.
Having a moment too, it feels like. So,
Yeah.
how is like the marathon gone for you? I mean, the trials obviously, and then
Yeah, so we didn't really like think I was gonna run at the trials.
yeah.
But after I qualified at the half, we were like, let's just go out there for kind of like the experience of it,
Yeah, of course.
which is like definitely what I got.
Yeah.
I definitely had that.
What's like the takeaway looking back?
So I'm not a high mileage person.
Uh huh.
I, at the time going into that marathon, I think my highest was maybe 65.
Oh, wow, okay.
70 miles.
Wow.
So I have like the strength, but not that endurance strength at the time.
Yeah, yeah.
So I definitely blew up the last 10K for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just overall fun. I mean, getting to see all these elite runners and being part of something like that is just very exciting.
Yeah.
It like makes me excited for like the next
Yeah,
round
right.
here.
Keep grinding.
Yeah.
Chasing the dream. So what's on the horizon? What's going on with the training? If you're, you know, whatever you're willing to share with the people.
Yeah. So after the marathon trials, I mean, COVID hit. So big like delay in racing and everything and work. So I got to ended up just focusing on running so much more within the year 2020, and came out and ended up actually running 2:32 in the marathon at the Marathon Project.
Yep.
And actually right before that, I PR'd in the 10K, so like things were like going well.
Yeah.
And then kind of hit a backstop after the Marathon Project, and last spring was going well, but I ended up getting injured. Had a pretty bad stress reaction in my toe.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So that was that really left me out for a while.
That sucks. What does that feel like? I mean, just burrowing one toe?
Yeah, it's just one toe, and it just.
I think we're good if you want to hit a little pace, right?
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I like running easy.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was out pretty much all summer, missed the trials, like all this, and it definitely hit me pretty hard.
Track trials.
Track trials, yes,
Right.
track trials.
Yeah. Just...
So started building back up this fall. Ran a couple cross country races.
Yeah.
Nothing too special. Just was like, let's just get my feet back under me, type of thing. And now I'm just like, okay, let's like get that confidence back.
Yeah.
In racing.
Yeah.
So next race up is we're gonna go out and do the 10 at Sound Running.
Sound Running, yeah.
In like 3 weeks here. We got a decent group going out there. So it should be fun.
That's great.
I was like going out to California.
Yeah. What's not to like?
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, good luck. We'll keep an eye out, of course. Sound Running, shout out to them, to you, Jesse. Always put on a great meet.
Yes, they do.
All right, so I want to kind of touch on something else. You have been in the program for long enough, I think, where I'd love to hear your kind of take on this. Like, you know, what is the best part about being a pro runner these days, and kind of like the industry?
Yeah.
And then also, what's one thing that you'd love to see changed, or you know, something that we could advance, bring the sport a little bit forward?
You know, I learned a lot. Like, shout out to Richie and Aaliyah. They're like been my mentors, along with like Noah. They've been in it for so long, and so I've learned a lot from them. I have grown a lot in the last 3 years, not just as a runner, but trying to become an adult. You know?
Yeah,
like,
sure.
And then, I mean, there's always so much we can change within the industry.
Yeah.
And make things better. But I mean, I'm a big thing for like the women of running have been dominating in the last year here. And I think I'm still like on that train. Like, let's get women's running out there more. Like we're still good. Like like I do get disappointed when I'm seeing like they show the marathon on TV and they're just showing the lead men for so long. Same thing with just like some track stuff. Like that's just, I would just like to see that.
Yeah.
That become more accessible, and along the lines, it's not easy making money and being a runner. Like,
oh, no doubt.
I have my own job that I work 30 to 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
So, like, shout out to Tracksmith. Like, they make it accessible, have this program
Yeah.
for runners to, like, help them. And I would love to see more of that
Yeah.
out there.
That's great.
So,
Well, hopefully Talking While Running will do our small part
Yeah.
as well. That's
definitely.
the goal. For sure. So, well, thanks so much, Lexi. We're bringing it up back home here. What's else on the training agenda today?
You know, I got a nice little aqua jog.
Yeah.
Monday aqua jogs.
Monday aqua jog. I love it.
I always
All
got
right.
to do that.
And I think if I could disclose, you're meeting with the friend we did an episode with, Charlie
Yep.
Lawrence.
Yep. Doing some aqua jogging. It's always nice to do aqua jogging with people.
Yeah.
Makes it less boring.
Right.
Instead of just staring in the pool. I do listen to podcasts though.
Oh yeah. What do you go with?
My Favorite Murder.
Oh, okay.
I'm big My Favorite Murder fan.
Yeah. The thrillers.
Yep.
Love it. All right. Well, we'll be sure to drop all Lexi's social media. Follow her. Give her some support. Follow Roots Running and all their athletes. This run and all the details will be on Trackster, as always. Also, will be in the description. Lexi, thanks so much for pulling up.
Thanks for having
Coming
me.
out.
Yep.
Throw some nice.
Yeah.
All right, that's a wrap.
I think this is falling down.
That's okay.
Okay.
I've given up on this mic,
Okay.
honestly. It's all good.